Hey friends, welcome to the Johnson City Living Podcast, where we learn about the people, places, events, and flavors that make Johnson City just a lovely place to live. I'm your host, Colin Johnson, with the Colin and Carly Group and Keller Williams Realty. If you're interested in buying or selling a home in the area, or if you're looking at investing in a rental property, give us a call at 423-930-8003, and we will look forward to helping you. Now, let's get to today's episode. It is a beautiful mid-August day here in Johnson City. Kids are going back to school, college is starting, and we have a friend from college here with us. Welcome to the podcast, Matthew Dodd-Berry.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, so you traveled. I think you probably have the record for the longest traveling guest we've had. Where's home this summer been?
Back on the Wirral in England. So I traveled all the way just for this podcast.
And we've had some people travel a little ways for the podcast, but from England, that's pretty respectable. So thank you for getting on a plane just to come see me.
No problem.
You're not on a plane just to see us. What are you doing in town?
I am in the middle of kind of sorting all my stuff around, ready to move down to Baton Rouge I'm transferring from East Tennessee down to Louisiana State. So
yes,
quite the transition.
We've heard that you're not going to be at ETSU in the lovely area of Johnson City anymore, and you're going to hot, sweaty Baton Rouge down to the swamp.
That is correct. Yeah. It was a tough decision, but I think it's the right one for me.
Yeah,
but,
it's going to be exciting to play golf for our SEC school, right?
It is. I'm excited for it. I've heard the football games are pretty good. Being from England, you don't really hear much about it, so I've heard that it can be pretty electric.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a college football game, like a SEC big time?
So I've heard it's going to be quite the experience.
It's going to be awesome. It's going to blow your mind. You're going to be like, this is crazy. All right, so you lived in Johnson City because you went to ETSU for a couple of years.
Yeah. What
was your favorite thing about Johnson City?
I really liked how small and how close-knit everyone was. I felt as though no matter where I went, whether it was down the road some food, I'd always know someone in there, whether it be a college student, some guy who was in my class, or some guy I'd met through the golf team, or just something like that. I'd always know kind of someone around here.
Yeah.
And that made it felt like it was home.
Yeah.
It really did.
Isn't that cool? I think a lot of people loved it. I love that anywhere I go, I see somebody I know pretty much. And so it makes it feel tight and close. We do have some people who move here who are coming from big cities, and they're like, oh, everywhere I go, there's somebody in my business. Cause I can't go have a cup of coffee without seeing somebody. So it's probably like that in Liverpool. It's a little bigger, right?
Yeah. I mean, kind of where I live, it's again, quite small, and everyone knows everyone, which is quite nice because you get to know a lot of people and you can rely on them. So I think the people here were just so nice, so nice to me. And being from out of the country, they were really accepting and kind of really kind about it. I guess Southern hospitality is, it's true.
It is, isn't it? We work hard to love on people for sure. What's your favorite thing about Liverpool?
Ooh.
Or what do you miss most, when you're gone for months at a time?
Probably some of the foods, fish and chips.
Yeah.
And then bangers and mash as well.
Oh, yeah.
I just love the food over there, and some tea as well.
Uh-huh.
Can't get a normal cup of tea over here.
What's your favorite cup of tea that you like? You're like, hey, I'm at home. Brand-wise, what do you put in it? Talk to us about English tea.
Yorkshire tea. It's great. Bit of milk in there. I like it quite strong. It's every evening we have one.
Yeah.
All the family.
Yeah.
Cup of tea. So it's, you can't beat it.
Right.
But you can't seem to get it over here. So everyone drinks coffee.
We do. Yeah. We like coffee. I like mine with a lot of milk in it. I get lattes because I'm, but I grew up with tea, and my mother's English, and tea and biscuits, and it's just a great time, hanging out with the family, like you said. We're all sitting around having a cup of tea and talking about the day and what's going on.
Brilliant. Yeah.
I think we should bring that back.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, did you grow up completely in Liverpool? Did you ever live anywhere else in the UK?
Grew up there since I was born. Yeah. Never been anywhere else. And
gotcha.
I think my parents have always resided there as well. So
okay.
we've always we love it there.
Yeah.
I don't think my parents would ever move unless they were to move to the States. So
Yeah. I'm hoping they do. They're
I hope
sweet
so
people.
too. Yeah.
Talk to me about how you got into golf.
I got into golf at a very young age, since I could walk, essentially. It was originally my grandma.
Really?
She was the one, yeah. So I had some plastic clubs that I just hit around the living room during the day, and then my grandma would often take me out onto the golf course that was just across the road from where we live.
Yeah.
And we'd go play 9 holes or whatever, and she'd just, take me around whilst my dad was working, my mum was working, and my grandpa was at home. She'd be the one that would drag me out onto the golf course, and, spend a lot of good afternoons with her walking around the golf course.
That's pretty special. She's still with us?
She is.
Yeah, I bet she's pretty excited to watch you these days.
She is, yeah. She can't get around quite as much as she wishes, but, I know she's there.
Yeah.
In my heart, so.
So tell me when you started realizing you were pretty decent at golf.
I think I was around 13, and I started to play for my county, Cheshire, and I was knocking on the door of the England regional team at the time. And at that point, I had to make a decision between playing football or soccer, as you guys call it, and playing golf, because the golf was on the Sunday and so was the football. So I was kind of like, I got to choose one, and chose golf. So I think I made a good decision.
I think so, yeah. I think you can play golf forever, too. I've got some buddies that play soccer/football still. Our buddy Twan plays. Or he's gotten older now. He's not playing as much because he tore his Achilles, but you can play golf forever.
You can, yeah.
There are a lot of guys, and they're really good when they're, these 80-year-old guys. They don't hit it real far, but it's laser straight.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, you meet so many people playing golf, and you can play it like as much as you want. And for the whole of your life.
Yeah.
No one's going to stop you.
Yeah.
Your body's not going to stop you, so.
And I think it's spiritual, just being out in the, I used to work on a golf course, and it was awesome. And then just being out like in the, environment, you've got the birds and the sun and the clouds, and the grass is beautiful. And I mean, it's peaceful. And when you flush a ball, it's just, there's no better feeling.
Oh, there is not. It's true. When you flush an iron, it's perfect. It's addicting.
Yes.
It really is.
It is really addicting. So when did you start going, okay, I'm winning some tournaments, and start moving into, like, how did you get into a college career in golf?
Okay, so the college recruiting process starts when you're about 15, 16. So pretty young, I think. But I'd always wanted to do it since I'd been playing golf at like a reasonably high level. I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to go to college. I want to go play golf.
Who wouldn't want to do that, right?
Exactly. It's a great life. So when I was about 16, the recruiting process started, and had some coaches get in touch, and kind of just from there spoke to them loads, and had to make a decision, and chose ETSU because it was a good fit for me.
Yeah. So, I mean, you probably had a bunch of coaches after you.
Yeah.
And then you chose ETSU. What were some of the, decision-making factors there to bring you here to Johnson City?
So during my recruiting process, it was all during COVID. So I didn't actually get out to visit any of the places.
Oh, wow. So you're just talking to people.
Yeah. But Johnson City looked really good online, and all the photos I'd seen and videos I'd watched.
All the podcasts.
Yeah, exactly. And you could see like the mountains in the back, and I was like, this looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Plus the coach, Jake Amos, he was here, and, I really connected with him really well, and it just seemed like a really good fit because the golf team was full of internationals. It had been known for recruiting good internationals.
Yeah.
So it kind of made sense for me to come here, and with it being a smaller school, I quite like that because when you're going somewhere new for like a different country, you kind of want it to be small, and, you don't want a massive school where you'll just get lost.
Right.
So I really, really enjoyed my time at ETSU.
Gotcha. And so you came here your freshman year.
Yeah.
And you were here last year, sophomore year, and now you're headed to LSU, right?
That's correct.
How did you guys do as a team your freshman year?
We did okay.
Yeah.
We made it to nationals, which is, the standard that, had sort of been set.
Yeah.
We didn't do too great at nationals, but it was a really good experience getting there. I think it kind of helped us for the following year, because the following year was was really good.
A little better, right?
It was, yeah.
So I think probably, I'm sure you looked at the Tennessee's or East Tennessee's record and were like, okay, historically they go to the national championship every year in golf. And I mean, for little East Tennessee, that's a big, I mean, like, talk about how, I mean, just amazing that is that we have a school here in East Tennessee that, I mean, is in the top 20 in the country, right?
It's crazy. I think no one would really expect it. I would get asked in class all the time, like, why did you come here?
Yeah.
And then I'd tell them at the time, I think we were ranked as high as 9th in the country. I'd be like, well, we're ranked 9th in the country for golf. So
pretty good.
That's why.
Right.
So I think it's just incredible that East Tennessee can compete with like SEC schools in terms of the budget. It's crazy. I mean, it's a credit to all the coaches that have been here in the past. And I'm sure the new Coach O'Callaghan will do a great job of it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see if we can connect with him and get him on the podcast. But yeah, I've heard great things. He came from Wake Forest. And so last year you guys went and you had a great year, right?
We had a very good year.
Yeah.
In the fall, it was really good. We got off to a really hot start in the fall. We kind of dipped a little bit in the start of the spring, but I remember Coach told us it's not about how we're playing right now. About how we play in postseason. We get to postseason, we played pretty good. I think we finished maybe around 12th in nationals, or 11th. So that was pretty nice. It looked close for a while. I thought we were going to make the cut into match play, but it just didn't quite go our way at the end.
Yeah,
no, it was a really good experience, and can't ask much more.
Yeah, talk to us a little bit about like maybe to the kid who's 12, 13, 10. Thinking about getting, like really saying, okay, I want to make this a career like you have, and saying, all right, I want to focus on college golf. What would be some tips and ideas, tricks? I
would say just get your profile out there as much as you can. I think that's really important.
Okay. Talk more about profile out there. Who are you getting it out to? What are you doing?
I think you got to set a good reputation for yourself firstly.
Okay. Yep.
So, you're
got to win some tournaments.
You got to win tournaments, but I think on top of that, you got to have a really good attitude. Hold yourself like a professional. You got to think, what would a PGA Tour pro do in this situation? Would they walk around with like the shoulders slumped down and a head like this?
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't. They'd bounce around, and you just look at that body language. You got to try and reciprocate that.
Yeah.
And I think another big part is on social media. You've got to get yourself out there, especially with the world, with the way the world is.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way of college coaches finding out who you are and like what you've done. You got to post all about like your achievements and stuff, but you can't be like too
cocky about it.
Yeah, you can't be like too pressing on to the coaches about it. You can't keep asking them and telling them about what you've done. You kind of just got to let them come to you.
Right.
Let the results talk for themselves. You know?
But I love the fact that you came out with attitude first. I think talk about attitude and how, because during a round of golf, you hit a lot of shots, right? And you're going to hit some bad ones. I remember one of Jack Nicklaus's quotes is, he's like, I'm going to hit a few bad shots. So I just, hopefully, just deal with it and get them out of the way early maybe, and then just have a great round.
Yeah, exactly. I think I struggled with it my first year and part of my second year as well. I wasn't great. But Coach Amos kind of told me, like, you're never going to reach your full potential if you don't push this to the side and move on from it.
Right.
Like, you got to grow up. You got to realize that it's not doing you any good. So why would you do it?
Yeah.
You're going to hit bad shots. Just laugh about it. Get over it and think about what you're going to do next to hit the next good shot.
Exactly. It's in the past, right?
Yeah, I think that kind of relates to life as well. I think you can't look back on things that you've done wrong like too much. You got to learn from it and move on.
Yeah. It is a good life lesson for golf. Every time you go play, you're learning something, because you're like, okay, I can't fix it. I can't go back. And then you look at your own attitude towards yourself and you're like, oh, wow, I'm mad at myself or angry with myself or disappointed, instead of, like you're saying, carrying yourself well and just having a great attitude.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think one of the things we said on the way to school every day, we did affirmations, but it was one of those, I'm going to choose to have a great attitude. Why would I choose anything else?
Exactly.
Because it's a choice, right? And but it can seriously change the course of your life.
Massively.
Yeah. I mean, massively, right?
Yeah.
It's just incredible. And so I think your dad probably taught you to have a great attitude.
He did, yeah.
And then, so now you're going to teach your kids one day the same thing. And then it's just how it can affect the world. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. And people go through bad stages and might not get it at first, but I think as soon as that light switches on in their head, that it's going to do them the world of good, having a positive attitude, then they'll change. Like, it will just come naturally.
Gotcha. So you're going to LSU, but this summer you went home for a little while and you played in a tournament to help you get into another tournament, I heard.
I did.
He's grinning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I was supposed to play golf with you, but you did something pretty neat. So what happened?
Yeah. So I played at West Lancs in final open qualifying, and I finished T1 and made it to the Open at Royal Troon.
Yes, the Open. So here in America, we call it the British Open, but it is just the Open. So you actually played in the Open Championship.
Yeah.
So maybe next year you go again and we can come having the podcast and I'll call you Champion Golfer of the Year.
Hopefully.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be something, wouldn't it?
That'd be cool, kind of cool, wouldn't it?
That would be kind of cool. But no, the Open was just incredible.
Yeah.
Such a good experience.
Yeah. Talk to us about that, right? I mean, like, so you did you plan on playing in the qualifier?
Yeah, I'd planned on playing in it. I got into the final qualifying through an event before this.
Okay. So where did you do that?
So the British Amateur.
Okay.
I came in the quarterfinals, and actually, like, a funny story to this is, and it just proves how much like one single shot can affect the rest of the summer. I had a putt on the last hole of the final qualifying round, so round 2, to get into the match play stages. It was about 15 feet, 20 feet, and I made it.
Nice.
If I hadn't made that, I wouldn't have made it into the final qualifying, and who knows what would have happened. I possibly wouldn't have played the Open. So, yeah, so I finished in the quarterfinals of the British Am, which got me into the final qualifying. And then I think I shot 3 under, 3 under, 6 under, which got me into the Open.
And that tied for first?
Tied for first, yeah.
And that got you into the Open. How many qualifiers make it into the Open?
It is 4 per site, and I think there was 5 or 4 venues.
Oh, okay.
So there's about
20.
Yeah, about 20.
How many people are in the field of the whole thing from this, like when it starts? Was it 120 something maybe, or
in final qualifying, I think, but a lot of them people will have had to go through regional qualifying just to get into final qualifying.
Gotcha. And then so the roster for the Open, how many players like tee it up in the Open?
Ooh. I want to say there's maybe 200, maybe a little bit more.
Okay. So at that point,
a lot.
Yeah, but they're out of the whole world.
Yeah.
200 people are teeing it up and you're one of them.
Yeah.
That's pretty special.
Yeah. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I bet.
It was pretty cool.
And you got there and you played a practice round or 2, right?
I did.
Did you play with anybody we've heard of, maybe?
So,
sorry, I'm leading
it's
the witness with these questions.
I ended up playing with Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah. I've
Sam
heard of him.
Burns and Tom Kim.
Yeah.
So pretty good 4-ball.
Did you whip him?
I lost $20 to Scotty.
Oh, did you?
I did, yeah. We did a little nearest the pin on the postage stamp, the 8th hole, and it was with a 4-iron instead of what should have been a pitching wedge, and he hits like 20 feet, and the rest was Mr. Green, so I had to pay up $20, yeah. I'm sure if I wasn't there, it would have been for a lot more money, but I'm pretty glad that he only said 20 in the end.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I can do that.
I can afford that, yeah.
Right. And then to have a story that you lost $20 to Scotty Scheffler.
Exactly. He's got my $20.
Yeah.
I'll win him back off him one day.
Yeah, there you go. That's exactly right. With interest.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, a little upcharge.
How is Scotty Scheffler? Is he a pretty decent guy to hang out with?
He's such a good guy.
Yeah.
He really is. I mean, just, you can't like explain it to people how nice, and he's just, you wouldn't think that he's world number 1, that he's the best at what he does. I mean, I walk onto the first tee and he comes over and is like, "Hi, I'm Scotty." I'm like, "I know who you are." It's Scotty Scheffler.
Oh, really? Scotty who?
Yeah. What did you say your name was?
You look familiar.
Yeah. But no, he's such a great guy. He's so down to earth. He doesn't let anything that he's done like get to his head. He just takes it one day at a time.
Yeah.
And his caddy, Ted Scott, is just like him. That they get along really well, and they're such great role models, I think. And I think a lot of people could learn from him.
Sure.
Kind of try and live their life a bit more like him.
I watched him on the Full Swing deal, and he just seems to be, like you said, very down to earth. But one thing I saw that I didn't see with any of the other guys is he is in the Bible every day.
Oh, yeah.
And just loves the Lord, and then so that peace that comes from that, I think, is transcending into his golf game.
Massively. I mean, he just trusts in him, and it kind of pays off. All of them guys actually in that four ball, Tom and Sam as well. I know they're really religious, and it was just such a great atmosphere.
Yeah,
it really was.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah. So then you played some. How'd you do your first round in the Open?
First round, I played pretty good. It was a really late tee time. It was like 4:19 p.m. in the afternoon. It was.
And it doesn't get dark there till like 10 or something.
No, so we were okay.
Yeah.
Last couple of holes, it was really dark. But it was kind of weird waiting around all day just to go play. I remember I got up in the morning and kind of just like chilled out.
What am I going to do all day? Because I got 8 hours before I play.
Yeah, it was pretty close to the beach. So we went down to the beach, and my brother and girlfriend actually went for a swim in the water, and it looked cold. And I was like, I'm not doing that. No chance. Up in
Does she
Scotland,
mind the cold?
No.
No.
Doesn't bother them. But so we got to the course at like 1, had some lunch, went stretched, went to the gym, and kind of got going from there. So played pretty nicely. Shot 1 over, which put me around 30th, 40th. So it was pretty good. And
I remember watching, just so excited. Like I was like, look how he's going. Like, this is great, you know?
I played really well.
Yeah.
I was 3rd in strokes gained tee to green. So in terms of stats, I was like the 3rd best.
Yeah.
Apart from the putting.
Right.
So if I had to hold more putts, I would have been, right up there.
Yeah.
So,
which sort of, I
actually played with the first round leader, Dan Brown. I think he shot 6 under. So that was a really cool experience.
Yeah. I mean, because I was looking at where you are, and then you look down the roster, and there are Open champions down there that, I mean, you were ahead of a lot of people that
it was
pretty notable, pretty awesome. And then so the second day comes around, and it's a little different day.
It is, yeah. I teed off at 11, which if you've ever been to Scotland, there's winds, and the winds pick up around 9 o'clock in the morning and don't drop until about 6, 7 in the evening. So I was right in the middle of the strong winds, and just, it's not an excuse. It's just, I think it played a factor.
Right.
Didn't play the golf I wanted to play, shot 9 over. But I think if you had told me that the cut was going to be +6 going into the tournament, I would have been like, no chance.
Yeah.
No chance. So, I think I'll only learn from it and come back stronger.
Yeah. What were some of the things you took away? What was a good lesson that you're like, oh, next time I'm going to?
I think I did a really good job of just treating it like any other event. People around me had told me that you need to go in there with an attitude of just, it's nothing special. Just go there like you're trying to win.
Right.
I think I did a really good job of that. And
that's kind of hard with thousands of people watching.
It is. Like, you get up on the first and there's grandstands around you. People are like,
How nervous were you hitting that ball?
I was so nervous, and hit it down the middle. It was fine.
Perfect.
And then after that, I
felt good.
Settled in. Felt like a normal tournament. But it was, so nerve-wracking on that first tee.
Is there, because like in my mind, at your level, there's not a shot you can't hit. Yeah. Probably, right? You've hit every single shot, and it's in you somewhere, and you're just trying to tap into that.
You just got to dig it out.
You got to dig it out and say, all right, I'm going to connect with this ball and hit it where I want it. And again, it's about attitude, right? I mean,
it is, yeah.
Because you can start thinking about all the bad stuff that can happen, and that's not helpful, right?
Yeah. I think you start to learn as well that the pros aren't actually, they don't strike it as good as you think they would. But the 6 inches between their ears is where they really step ahead of everyone.
Yeah.
It is. They just believe that they can go out and win every tournament, which I think everyone can learn from.
Yeah.
So, not just in golf.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot. So basically it's just mental toughness.
Yeah, exactly. They're just really good at, obviously they're super talented, super good at what they do.
Right. You got great hand-eye coordination.
Yeah. But their mindset really does set them apart. I mean, there's some guys who I know that should be playing on tour, but it's up there that's stopping them from getting there. So
what are some things you're doing to help develop your mental toughness?
I think I've been really good at not burning myself out. I think that's a really important part of it. I think as soon as you start playing week in, week out every day, then you'll start to become very burnt out and start to lose kind of any sort of toughness you've got up there.
Yeah.
You can't keep it up for weeks on end. It's just impossible. So I found it really helpful to, I'd play for the week and I'd play 36 holes a day in tournaments. And then I'd have, 3-4 days off. And that would get me mentally really sharp and prepared to go play the next week. I found that really helps. So.
Yeah, I think too, you probably miss it a little bit, right?
Yeah.
You're like, I can't wait to get back out there now, that I've had a little
to get
break.
Going again. Yeah. I just, for example, leading up to the qualifying for the Open, I took a couple of days off and I was raring to go.
Yeah.
Just couldn't wait to get out there. So.
That's cool. If you had to pick one thing you need to work on this year, what are you going to be focusing on getting better to help you move forward in your career?
I'd say there's always something you can work on, but for me, it'd be my putting. Going back to what we just talked about, I've never quite believed that I'm a good putter. I think that's half the battle. I think technically I could get better, but I also need to start believing that I can actually put on the greens, because right now I'm kind of I'm definitely getting better at it. I've come a long way since the start of college, but I can always improve it.
Right. Saying to yourself, this is going to go in everyone, I'm going to make this putt.
Exactly. Yeah. Just being confident about it. I think it's the most important.
Because then your body aligns to what you're thinking and says, all right, I'm going to put this ball in the hole.
Yeah. That's half the challenge. Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as you get that done over, then you can start focusing on the technical side of it, which, you can always improve on. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I like it. You, so Jake Amos, the coach here, is going to be the new coach down at LSU as well.
He is, yeah.
And then do you have any other buddies that are going to be with you from ETSU going with you?
I do. Al got clean from Sweden.
Yep.
He is transferring as well. He's got one more year left.
Okay.
And then a guy that was supposed to come to ETSU this fall, he is now going to LSU. His name's Arne Gunnlaug Svensson. He's from Iceland.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, quite the international.
Hopefully he can handle the heat down in LSU.
I hope so. For his sake, yeah, it's a bit different from Iceland.
A little bit different.
So.
He'd be like, good Lord, I'm sweating all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he might struggle, but I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Well, I'm excited to see and watch what you've got going on. It's gonna be fun. What are some of the things you're gonna miss about ETSU?
I think I got to know everyone in the athletics department and kind of all of the people who support the golf team. There's a lot of faces I'm going to miss.
Yeah.
Just seeing them around, and say when we'd go up and play the old farm, I'm going to miss being able to go say hi to them and, just see them every other week.
Yeah.
It was really cool. And, I've got a lot of friends here that I'll miss, and I'm sure I'll come back and visit them every so often.
Yeah, that'll be good.
I think I'm going to miss the golf facility as well.
Yeah.
The golf facility is so good. I'm going to miss that. And a couple of the guys that helped out with the golf team, assistant coach Blake Watson and Mike Holbert, I'm going to miss seeing them around.
So Mike's not going either? I know you guys are close.
He's affiliated with ETSU, so he's staying.
Okay.
And McKibben Teal.
Yeah.
As well.
I love McKibben.
He's a good guy, so I'll miss seeing him around.
He is such a good kid. I love that kid. It's been fun to watch him grow up since he was 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of great things about Johnson City.
There is.
Hopefully maybe one day you can come back and make it home.
Yeah. I wouldn't say no to it.
Yeah, because it's just a great place to live. Who are some of the other people in your life that have been influential besides like Coach Amos and Mike Holbert and
I would say,
and Grandma?
I think, well, Grandma got me into the church, I think, which gave me a belief in God, and he's been a really big part of my success, I'd say. And away from that, I'd say my parents have been like the best parents I could ask for.
They're solid people.
They are like such good people. It's been a really good mix of my dad, who is a football scout and has got the hard, like, you'll do this, you'll practice as hard as you can. And then my mum is the side where it's like, it's okay, just relax, take some time off. So I've had a really good mix of that. They've pushed me really, like, not pushed me really hard, but they've like always been not demand. I don't know how to put it. Not
supportive.
Demanding, but very supportive.
Yeah, and encouraging. And
I don't think anyone could ask for better parents. I've been really lucky. My swing coach as well, he's done a really good job with me. Sean, he's down in Atlanta. He's helped me tremendously.
That's cool.
Just technically, I've gotten a long way with him.
Yeah.
So there's probably a lot more people, but it's not going to come into my head right now. But
that's all right.
They know who they are, and
yeah,
I'll thank them for all that they've done for me so far.
Yeah. I
got some more people.
Yeah.
Trisha and Twan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they've been
Trisha, Wynn, they're great people.
They've been so welcoming for me here. They're like a second set of parents for me. They really are. Yeah. They've done so much for me that I can't thank them enough, and they'll always play a huge part in my life.
Yeah, they really do love you, and it's fun to be a part of that too. As Twan and I get together every week, you're on our prayer list a lot, and so it's been fun to watch you. And we're praying for you all the time. If you were hosting a podcast, or something that I should ask you I didn't, that you want to share, anything that you can think of?
I don't think so.
All right, let's do this. A year from now, you're back in this chair.
Yeah.
What did this year look like for you in the world of golf? And
so what would I want it to look like?
Mm-hmm.
Great question. I would say I want to make the Open again.
Yeah.
Firstly, I want to win a lot more college tournaments. I've only won one so far. Okay. So I want to get a couple more under my belt. And I think that as much as ETSU wouldn't like it, I want LSU to have a really good national championship and hopefully beat my old school to it. So, maybe come away with a trophy or something at the national championship would be pretty cool.
That'd be super cool.
It would. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Well, we'll be cheering you on and encouraging you from East Tennessee, and you always can come back and see us for sure. How can listeners connect with you if they want to encourage you or just reach out and say, man, you're doing great?
I think they can reach out on Instagram.
Okay. What's your Instagram handle?
It's Matty_Dodd-Berry. So DODDBERRY.
Gotcha.
They can reach out on there or on Twitter. Same username. I think just, any messages of support, I'll get back to them, and it's really appreciated.
Yeah. Isn't that fun? Like, you just have people all over the world wishing
it's so cool.
Like, cool?
Just getting random people reach out to you. I had quite a few at the Open. They were like, hey, I watched you, like, well played. And it was so cool. It's so nice to feel like people are so supportive of you and just want the best for you. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Really.
What gets you fired up is my question, but most excited? Like, what is one thing you're just like, let's go?
I would say just competing. I love competing. And I love winning as well. There's something about it that it keeps you coming back to it.
Yeah.
There's no better feeling than winning. And when you do win, it goes by too quick that you just want it to happen again.
Yeah.
Winning my first college tournament, it's such a good feeling. Such a good feeling. And I just can't wait to feel it again.
Yeah, you can see him just giddy. So I'll pray that you win a bunch of them this year. That'd be awesome.
Thank you very much.
That'd be awesome. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. I enjoyed our conversation. Looking forward to playing with you again today.
So am I.
I'm going to whip your tail.
It's going to be good fun.
And I hope you guys have enjoyed getting to meet Matthew. He is such a good kid. And yeah, just send him well wishes, connect with him. We're hoping you're going to be champion of the golfer of the year next year. That'd be awesome.
Hopefully. That's
Yeah, and then
plan,
hopefully maybe a pro career one day.
Hopefully I'll get a couple of green jackets and lift a few trophies.
That'd be
pretty cool.
awesome.
Come back to Johnson City and show them on the podcast. Maybe I'll be sat here in a green jacket one day.
Oh, that'd be sweet. Yes.
Be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
Yes, I'm going to hold you to it. If you win a green jacket, you're sitting here on the podcast. We'll be talking in your green jacket. That'd be awesome. Well, until next time, I'm Colin Johnson with the Colin and Carly Group and Keller Williams Realty. If you want to move to East Tennessee, where it's one of just the best places in the world, we'd love to help you get here. And again, we love helping people build wealth through real estate too. So if you ever want to invest, Matthew, in real estate, we'd love to help you do that. And yeah, so anyway, thank you so much for listening. Hope you have a great day.
Thanks for having me.